Retiree Supplemental Health Plan, better known as the trust. Why does MUSD or MTA have a trust, not MUSD, MTA? Well, in 1986, it was decided that we would help each other as retirees and actives. At that time, the district was and the association were unable to agree on lifetime benefits for our retirees. So MTA on its own decided to offer to build this trust and to offer it to its retirees as a lifetime benefit. A few events in establishing the trust. There was a general membership meeting at 1996 at Sure High School. There were some more meetings. Council approved the plan. Public hearings on the 26th and 25th of March of that year. And in April, it was ratified with a 94.1% approval rating. Once that happened, the trust fund committee was established. It is composed of 5 members, the president, 4 others voting members who are nominated by the executive committee and elected by rep council for 5-year terms. Additionally, the past president, immediate past president, and the executive director serve as ex officio non-voting members. Currently, your trustees are those on the screen. We now have a new executive director, Doug Patskowski, past president. He is a non-voting ex officio member who is eligible for the trust. Members eligible for the trust must have 15 years of contributory service, must retire under STRS, be eligible for district retiree health benefits, no longer receive paid benefits for health insurance premiums from the district, and that happens at age 67. So many of you, I imagine, are still employees of the district, so we all understand how the district pays for our health benefits. That amount is set by the insurance committee, and the district pays for dental, vision, and care. You as a member, as an active employee, get to decide upon that health plan. Currently, there is no contribution from the member except for CalPERS Gold and CalPERS Platinum, which is currently at $10 per month. Once you retire, if you are in regular retirement below age 67, under age 67, the district continues to pay for your health benefits. That is in 2024, this year, it is $1,692. If it is over that, then the retiree pays the difference. That amount is established in the fall for the next year. It's important, and you may note at the last line there, retirees may purchase dental and vision. That must be continuous. Once you retire, and if you do not wish to have it, and you leave, you no longer desire dental and vision, you cannot go back to it. And I'm sure Laura Simmons can answer more questions regarding that. So while we're active, the district pays for our health insurance. Under 67, the district pays. Once you get to age 67, the district is off the hook and they pay nothing. That's when the trust fund kicks in. The trust fund will reimburse up to $500 the cost of your premium. Currently, $500 does cover the member or the retiree. If there is a dependent, oftentimes that cost is a little greater than $500, so the retiree is responsible for the difference. The reimbursement is set by the trust fund committee, by the trustees that you saw on the screen earlier. They can increase it, they can decrease it. I could tell you, can tell you right now that the trustees are interested in making sure that the reimbursement at least covers the retiree. And the conversations that the trustees are having are not to decrease it, but to increase it in the future as costs go up. The earlier slide mentioned that retirees and actives would support each other. That's how the trust fund is funded. Member contributions pay for the trust fund. Currently, active members pay 250 $250 per month for 10 months a year, as do retirees under age 67. Once you retire and are age 67, you no longer pay this contribution and you begin receiving the reimbursement. The rate will increase by $50 in 2024, 2025, and for the next 2 succeeding years. In the unfortunate event of a death, if a plan participant dies before receiving the benefit, their beneficiary receives every single dollar that the active contributed to the trust fund. Now, if the retiree begins to receive benefits for 48 months, they can receive a lump sum of equal to 12 times the allowable monthly benefit. So someone were to die before the age 67, their beneficiary will receive every single dollar that they contributed. Where we are now. I should note that this slide, the data on this slide was accurate last year. It has not been updated, but it should not be too different. We have 1,000 retirees on the books. Most receive benefits from the trust, and the trust is paying about $3.5 million per year in premium reimbursements. Our net worth as of January 31st, 2023, the investment fund was at $16.8 million. So the trust fund is covered by federal law, specifically ERISA, and it governs how we can invest our money. Obviously, we can't be very risky in our investments. We have a responsibility to make sure that it is our investments are responsible and wise and have a long-term outlook. So they are in fixed income, 75%, most of it, some international equity and some domestic equity as well. The fixed income is just under 75%, but we rounded up. And that was, I think that was as of 2023, December 31st, 2023, not 2022. So we'll correct that on the slide after. That is an error. So that's the trust fund. If you retire, you do have to designate one financial institution for payments and reimbursements. There is that fee per transaction, and this is to cover any payments to the trust, to district medical, dental, and VSP, and thereafter for reimbursements after age 67. In the past, it was required that it be done through Camino. It no longer is. You can choose any financial institution of your choice. So CalPERS are those the folks who deal with the plans. So anywhere in California and outside of the California within the United States, they set the premiums. This is the contact information for CalPERS. It's important to have this information. It's available online as well, and at the end of this slideshow, because like I said, all aspects of open enrollment, including policy selection, eligibility, adding or deleting dependents, goes directly through CalPERS, not the district, not MTA or Coast benefits.
Could I make one quick comment about the CalPERS district slide? About the one more back? I'm sorry, one more. Yeah, here we go. So I just wanted to make a quick comment here about retiring. As it states here, the CalPERS retiree premiums are set by where you live. So that could mean some of you currently might possibly live here in Montebello. And if you decide when you get ready to retire, you're going to retire in Northern California or you're going to retire in Hawaii, I want to just kind of reiterate that your rates for what your health insurance premiums will be are really going to be based off of where you reside. So just keep that thought in your mind that if you decide you're going to retire in Hawaii, whichever year that is, let's just say it is next year, During the open enrollment timeframe, CalPERS releases the rates for both inside the state of California and the different regions, but they also post an out-of-state rate sheet. So just know it could vary based off of where you retire. It is based off of where you reside. And I just want to reiterate that just so you guys know that. Okay, that's all I wanted to point out.
Thank you. All district and trust reimbursements are distributed through coast benefits to your designated financial institution. Like I mentioned earlier, it no longer has to be Camino. It's whatever institution you have designated. These are the different agencies or firms that deal with the trust. The one that you would interface with is the top one, Coast Benefits, the plan administrator. The ones below that are the people who advise the trustees and who report to the trustees the state of the trust fund. Normally, retirees don't deal with those folks very often. In rare cases, they do deal with legal counsel, but for the most part, most retirees only deal with Coast Benefits. So, in review, if you are a retiree under age 67, the district reimburses medical insurance is reimbursed by the district. Upon reaching age 67, the district is no longer involved. They pay nothing, and the trust fund kicks in and reimburses up to $500. In 2024, that can be changed by the trustees. If you are not a trust member of the trust, the medical insurance is not reimbursed by the trust, and the retiree is responsible for that premium, that medical cost.
Could I make one quick comment too about this
Sure.
about that slide? So if you are a regular retiree up to the age of 67, if you notice in the reimbursement column, it says the amount is $1,692, and that is correct for the year 2024. That is this year from January 1 to December 31 of this year. Just know that each year that amount could potentially change. And if it does, the benefits department will post on their website what the retiree rates are. So that's something to consider if you're not thinking that you are going to retire, in fact, this year. Just know that whatever information is available for this year in terms of what the rates are, know that that could potentially change for the upcoming year. It will never be last minute information. That information will typically be posted on the benefits website in the fall. Usually you can go right to their webpage. There's a lot of good information there, but they do post the reimbursement amounts, as well as if there's ever any changes to dental and vision rates, which David will talk about that later. But I just wanted to mention that for those of you who might not necessarily be retiring exactly this year or don't know for sure, just know that that reimbursement rate could be different for 2025 and beyond.
Thank you. So the trust does reimburse for medical costs. There is dental and vision as well. That must be purchased continuously. Like I mentioned earlier, if it lapses, it cannot be restored. So it's important that you are aware of that and make sure that your coverage is continuous if you would like to have that kind of coverage. Currently, these are the monthly rates for VSP Vision: $14 for single, $24 for two-party, and $37.50 for family. For dental, it is what you see on the screen here. Do note that dental HMO is available only to California residents. So if you retire and move out of state, that no longer is applicable to you. It's not available to you. You would have to, I imagine, you choose dental PPO. Is that correct, Asia?
Yes, that would be correct. If you're again, this is also based off of where you reside. So if you are currently living in California and you at first have a dental, that you decide to do the dental HMO and you decide to move to Wisconsin, just know you'll need to switch over to the dental PPO because that dental HMO, which is the cheaper cost one, that one is only applicable for California residents. So I just want to reiterate that too. And I can't recall, David, my apologies if you talk about the difference between the dental PPO and the dental HMO. Is that on the next slide? Because if not, I can
No.
actually mention. Okay, let me just do a really quick brief one because
Sure.
everybody here are active, so they're familiar with the dental PPO, but really probably don't know anything about what that dental HMO is. So the dental HMO is a cheaper option, but just know that the dental HMO is a more restricted option. Think like an HMO versus a PPO for health. So with a dental HMO, before you can go to see your dentist, you have to select a dentist first, and you have to call MetLife and say, hey, this is who I want to be my dentist. Once they establish that as your dentist, then you can make appointments to go see your dentist. And the reason that it's cheaper is generally because you're restricted to only being able to see dentists within that MetLife network. And so it's a lot more restricted. There are things that are definitely covered and you will have coverage, but just know you won't have the flexibility that you have with the dental PPO. And pretty much with the dental PPO, as you can see, the cost is more expensive, but you're not really restricted to who you can see, unless that particular dentist you're trying to see isn't accepting patients. So that's the thing you really just need to check for with a dental PPO. Now, granted, if they are in network, then it's to your advantage because if they are a MetLife contracted dentist, then they've agreed to accept whatever costs MetLife has established for whatever services you have. Go out of network, you may end up paying a little bit more. Now, MetLife will cover some of it, but if they're not contracted with MetLife, then they don't have to stick to MetLife contract price. So you may end up paying a little out of pocket, but you have the flexibility. You don't have to not be able to see whoever you want to see. But if you do the dental HMO, it might be worth it for you to save on costs to be a little bit more restricted, especially if you find out that the dentist you like is in the MetLife network. It might be to your advantage. So you kind of have to weigh those costs out, but just know those are the difference. As an active employee, you cannot enroll in the dental HMO. So that's why I wanted to make sure you understood when you transition into retiring, then both of those dental plans that you see on the screen are an option to you. And if you retire and you say, you know what, let me try out the dental HMO, see if I like it, you can do that. And then if you don't like it in the next open enrollment, you can switch back over to the dental PPO. But just know that you have to have continuous enrollment in either the dental HMO or the dental PPO. You can't say, oh, this month I think I'll try it and then stop paying next month and then decide you want to come back the month after that. That's not how it works. You have to stay continuously enrolled in one or the other. So hopefully that gave a little bit of clarity on that.
Yes, thank you very much. Just a little bit more information on the dental. This is the coverage. There's an increased benefit last year, and it's here for your information. Life insurance and long-term. Now, dental, vision, life insurance, long-term care are not covered by the trust. The trust covers medical. All these things are purchased by the individual retiree, and you can if you have any questions on life insurance or long-term care, you can contact Harry Kivitz at that number below. These are very important numbers to have. Coast benefits. There we have our district speak, Vivian Lomelli, Laura Simmons, who is here and available to answer any questions. The benefits department at the district office, CalPERS, Social Security, which you need to be aware of at age 65. Asia Simpson, who is here with us, John Glenn and Company, and obviously the MTA office in CalSTRS. And now we will open it up for questions.